I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Briarpatch After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. Well, not really at AfterBuzz TV. We're kind of chiming in through our own respective internet feeds and our own respective apartments. Obviously, due to coronavirus concerns, just trying to play it safe and do the appropriate quarantine and chill and watch Briarpatch, because that's what we're all about. And I am, of course, your host and Jake Spivey super fan, Brandon Hanna, and I am joined finally, QueenEsther Ekanem is back. She's here.
Yay! I am so excited. I missed you guys. Did you guys miss me?
Oh, I mean, I can't speak for the Keven and Janice, who are unfortunately not able to make it today, but I can tell you that I missed you. And now, since they are not here, we can talk about how much suspicion we have for AD Singe, because we don't trust the guy, do we?
No, we don't. I missed a lot. Sorry, guys. I was off and I had to take a little break, but I am back. I missed you guys. I've been watching it, on my own, but oh my God, this episode is crazy. So I'm excited that you and I are doing this together. I miss Janice and Kevin, but we got this.
Yeah, we do got this, and we do have an amazing show for you guys today. This might be my favorite episode of the season so far.
Really?
We've got Clyde Brattle sending his goons to an assault on Jake Spivey's mansion, and of course, yeah, action-packed for sure. So I dress appropriately for today's episode.
You're very, very handsome, yes.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, Jake's a very handsome guy too, yes, so I do my best. Although I do need these glasses to see. And unfortunately, Lalo is killed when Brattle cannot get to Jake. We're going to talk all about that. And Chief Raytek, she's announcing her candidacy for mayor. What kind of shady business is going on there?
Oh my God.
So much to talk about. But before we get into those topics, I do want to get into our overall thoughts on today's episode. This was a lot. Actually, this was another episode that I had to watch twice. I loved how action-packed it was. QueenEsther, did you like seeing Jake Spivey in action?
I loved him. I felt like, oh my God, am I watching like an Avengers, season 10 or whatever it is? It just showed like his manly part. He was just very, very strong. I was like, who is this person? Like the protector and everything. I'm obsessed with him right now. Really obsessed with him.
And I may or may not also be obsessed with Jake Spivey, but I think Keven did mention to me, I don't know if he mentioned it on air, but he did mention to me last week that he thought this was an episode where we would really finally see a shift in the tone, a shift in the genre, if you will. Yes. And to some degree, that is what we got. This was, once again, a very action-packed episode. It was just so much to unravel. I knew obviously we had heard that Jake, he was a military man. He's seen battle before.
I didn't believe it.
Yeah, he took out those goons like it was nothing.
I was just like, first of all, is he really about to fight this guy? Like when he took off his whole armor and everything, I'm like, what are you about? Like seriously, because I'm so used to seeing him, with his guys and his entourage and his security. Like I never pictured him as the guy that would hold the gun and shoot and beat someone up. Like, that was amazing. I'm like, Jay, come through.
Yeah, that was a really awesome. That's probably my favorite scene of the episode, honestly. He just throws his gun aside. He takes off his bulletproof vest. He's like, oh, so you're the new me, huh?
Yeah.
The only me. I don't see about that.
Let me fight you.
Yeah, they fight. And Jake wins pretty handily, actually. Oh. Are you there? Did I lose you?
Yes. No,
okay.
I'm here.
Sorry.
You cannot lose me. I am here with you.
No. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Technical malfunctions on my part, guys. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you're doing the show out of the closet, but that's okay. We're back.
Yes.
So yeah, this was an amazing episode for sure. I do want to get into, we finally found out exactly who Jake's private security is, his little army, if you will, that he uses to try to defend himself against Clyde Brattle. it's just a bunch of migrants crossing the border. One of them mentions he's just a plumber. It's all for show.
It's very interesting to me. I'm like, first of all, how did he even pick them? And like, are you serious? Like, you are about to put these people's lives in danger. Like, how do you pick this kind of armies? Like, it's so crazy to me. But can I just tell you my favorite episode, like my favorite scene? Okay, when the bomb blew, you know I'm a bomb person. I love when the bombs just like goes off. When the zebra made the sound.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the rocket launcher that one of the guys had, the giraffe made a sound, distracted him, and he blew himself up.
That was amazing to me. I'm like, these animals are just like, they're like pretty much the best actors to me because they just come at the right time. They show up and they made, they just make themselves known and then they get out. They're literally the best actors to me in the whole show. It's amazing.
Yeah, that was a funny sequence for sure, and that was one where Captain Calder was there. He was kind of wandering the premises. How did he even know to be there? I guess we can get into that a little bit later as to where his allegiances might lie. But yeah, do you have any thoughts right off the bat about that? What was your initial reaction when you saw him show up on site?
I've always known that he's a very sneaky person. I've always known that he has something under his sleeve. So I was just kind of like, what? Like, I was just waiting to see where this was going to end up because I couldn't figure out if he was really on the side of Allegra and trying to find out, who, did the whole bomb thing, or he was really on the side of Raytek. And Raytek was just like, there's just so much confusion with that relationship. But I'm so happy that we actually got to find out who, who his allegiances really is at the end of this episode. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I can finally place you somewhere because his character was just a little bit tricky to me, I don't know if that's how the viewers are feeling, but I had to watch that scene just a few more times just to make sure, like, what is this guy about? Like, who does he belong to? Who does he answer to?
Yeah, for sure. He's always seemed kind of a bit of a weasel to me. He seems really spineless. He always kind of crumbles whenever Chief Raytek gives him an order. He just always kind of seems like he's up to no good.
He was such a baby when he had to apologize to Jake. I was just like, oh my God.
Thank you for, and she's like that, and he's a veteran. You thank him for his service. He's like, thank you for your service. And he just awkwardly leaves. Yeah.
He's such a baby. But then with his wife, he tries to be this macho man and all that, but he is such a baby. So I'm really happy that we kind of, have places his allegiance now, because he was a little bit confusing to me.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we're referring to the end of the episode, which I think I do want to get into more when we talk about our predictions.
Yes.
But he shows up at Clyde Brattle's trailer in the middle of the desert saying he can fix this, which is something he likes to say a lot, apparently. I can fix this. I can fix this. Man, I don't think he could fix anything.
He's a child. He's a child. Like, I just don't get him at this point. He's just a child.
Yeah, me neither. And of course, while all this is going on at Spivey Manor, as I'm going to refer to it as, we have some more action going on at the brewery where Lalo is housing all the migrants, and there's an explosion and a fire. And there's a lot going on there. But before we get into that, I just want to thank everyone watching at home, listening at home. Thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. We would not be able to do this amazing show without you. So thank you so much for your support. Please make sure to like this video. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to all the AfterBuzz TV channels. We have a lot of great content coming your way. Coronavirus or no coronavirus, we're still getting that content out to you guys. And even if it means I get to wear awesome cowboy hats without getting funny looks by people in the studio, then I'm about it. I'm about it. What am I going to
Whatever makes you happy.
Who knows?
Whatever makes you happy. Just do it.
It makes me very happy. So yes, please leave a comment. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, give us a positive rating on there. Leave a review there. It really, really, really helps this show, and we greatly appreciate your support. And someone who unfortunately did not get much support in this episode was Lalo. He was kind of left on his own. Allegra, I don't blame Allegra for leaving him alone there. but he really took the fall for Jake here, where Clyde seems to kill him as punishment for not being able to get to Jake, and he wants to hurt Jake. So obviously Lalo was part of Jake's operation. They were in this together. And yes, rest in peace, Lalo. QueenEsther.
That was a very interesting scene. I was just like, oh, poor boy, you tried, but what can we do? Move on. I'm telling you, for me, like I said from the very first episode, as long as I have an explosion on each episode, I'm good. Like, just because you can't start the first episode with an explosion and not give me that every single time. That's what I expect. And it doesn't have to be in terms of like a gun or, bomb or so. Every scene needs to be explosive. And I think this particular episode really gave us that, in different scenarios. And, I wasn't so shocked by his scene, but I was like, okay, done. All right, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew it was going to happen the second he turned that corner. And Clyde Brattle was there. Yeah. I was like, oh, there's no way.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
He really is. And he's even watching the fire in the
fire.
room. And there was that voiceover from the man on the radio talking about monsters and how they sneak up on you in your room. And
I felt like I needed a glass of wine while he was drinking. Also, I just kind of felt left. I was like, what are you doing? You are a true monster. Like, he has no feelings at all.
No, not at all.
As long as he gets his way, that's all. Like, I'm scared of him.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Spivey's not scared of no man.
Oh my God! Here you go.
I'm a little scared of him, yeah.
Okay, just be truthful, okay?
Well, a few episodes ago, I wasn't sure who to trust. Do I trust Clyde? Do I trust Jake? I am full on board, Team Jake right now. Obviously, he's done a lot of terrible things. Yes. But as one of the migrants said in the episode, he's a good man. He's obviously he's looking out for number one. He's looking out for himself. But he made it clear he took a bullet for Allegra in this episode. How have we not mentioned that yet?
I was like, what?
Yeah, that
was a love story right there. If you're gonna take a bullet from me, that's a love story. Like, that really solidified their relationship. That this is just not a normal childhood friendship at this point. He loves her. Like, that's love. Take a bullet from me. I love you.
Yeah, I mean, he really does. And as we found out, his lawyer, or I guess former lawyer now, she has resigned. Conversation about this with Allegra about their history, and she really says something that made a lot of sense to me when trying to describe Allegra and Jake's relationship, and she says, "Oh, you guys are family," and that really made a lot of sense to me. I don't think Allegra has romantic feelings for Jake. I think Jake might have romantic feelings for Allegra.
I think Jake does. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I feel like Jake isn't the kind of guy. He's not going to force those romantic feelings on her. He's not going to make her uncomfortable in any way. He's just going to be there for her, and he really showed that in this episode, which kind of makes him a sweetheart, really, if you think about it. He took a bullet for her, and then after he beat the crap out of that guy that shot him, he just turns and looks at her and goes, he's like, I never heard you.
Oh, that was just like, oh my God. But I honestly feel like he probably was that nerdy guy back in, whatever high school or whatever that they were in. And she was just like this beauty person. Everybody wanted her, but he was the gig kind of person. And so he's always kind of had love for her, but nothing could really ever happen because she might probably just look at him that way, But I have a feeling that there'll be a solidified love story at the end. I have a feeling.
Really?
Even though I didn't really appreciate the kiss of AD. I know that's last episode, but I did not appreciate that kiss at all because I don't want them to be together at the end.
Yeah, I mean, she's hooking up with AD Singe a little bit. They didn't even address that. When we see them together at the end of this episode, they act like it's business as usual. Like that didn't just happen.
I'm like, you just kissed. Like, hold up, let's explain this.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I know you and I are on the same page about 80. I think he has good intentions for Allegra, but I think he knows more than he leads on about what's really going on in this town.
He definitely does, and I am looking forward to us being right and Janice and Keven being wrong, because
and they're not here to defend him, even though it was Edie's birthday last week. It's not your birthday anymore, man. So we're gonna let it rip.
Can we talk about Raytek, because she is someone.
There's a lot to unravel there. Well, I mean, let's get into it. She kind of is a little bit of a, I mean, everyone in this town seems to be a little bit of a puppet master in some way, shape, or form, but she's definitely pulling some strings, and she announces her candidacy for mayor at the end of this episode. What is going on there?
I was like, wait,
tell me what you're feeling.
Are we in a real life scenario right now? Because I feel like this is an election happening right now. Like I think from the second and third episode, I was a little bit skeptical of her. I felt like she definitely knew more than just a normal, police person. And just seeing her and Jake, and seeing that her and Jake had something, like they have a partnership. And then seeing her, announcing her candidacy, I'm just like, she is gunning for something higher than even Clyde. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 2 episodes are going to be, and really just like analyzing her own scene. But she's definitely one to watch because she knows more. She definitely knows more about the bombing than probably most people do.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Now I'm really thinking maybe she had a hand in those bombings. She
definitely does. She has to. She has to. She definitely does, because even just like from the second episode of her, the hug that she gave to Allegra, and and her throwing the fries on
the wings on Freddie Laughter. He's revealed to be alive at the end of this episode, so that's good.
Exactly. So there's just something about her that is very, very sneaky, and I feel like she knows more. Is it that she's actually in partnership with Clyde, or that she's gunning for Clyde and really trying to take him down and take whatever big reward that this whole thing is about? So she's definitely someone to watch.
Yeah, for me, I think she's obviously a full-on corrupt police chief.
Oh, yes.
We've seen that she's had some sort of allegiance with Jake Spivey, once again reiterated in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
She's taken some shady orders from the mayor last episode, who may or may not be taking orders from the I don't know their names. What are their names? They're the elderly father and his son who owned the newspaper that seem to really be running things in this town. Blanking on names again. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
But she really seems to have her hands in just about everything. And I think obviously she was a little disgruntled with the mayor in the last episode, and she's finally decided to take it upon herself. You know what? Like, I'm done taking orders from this guy. Mm-hmm. I'm going to continue to be corrupt, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to run this town now.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to tell me what to do. I'm going to run this town. And I think that is what she is doing. And we'll see if it pays off. Obviously, she's going to be making some enemies.
Oh, of course. Of course. She definitely knows a lot more. So it's just going to be very interesting to see how they unravel her, her character, and, for us to see that. But, at the end of the day, I still, like I said, we are trying to predict who really is the killer or who really is in charge of all this bombing. And like I've always said from the beginning, AD Surge is still one of my picks there. And now I think I'm adding Raytech to that list.
Oh, wow. See, I don't know if I would put AD with Raytech. That's a hot take, I think.
I'm telling you, the ones that look innocent are the ones that probably like the bad guy. Like, leave Clyde alone. Clyde is bad. We already know this. But AD is sneaky.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things going on. I think there's the internal politics, the power struggle within this town. I think what's happening with Jake and Clyde is happening separately, but the two are kind of being intertwined. And now we see a Chief Raytek taking advantage of this war between Clyde and Jake and using that as leverage to get people on her side in this upcoming election.
Mm-hmm. It's very smart of her.
Yes.
It's definitely very, very smart of her.
I mean, that's how I would do it.
Yeah. Okay, come on now. Okay. Can we talk about the food? Is it just me, or do you get hungry when you see them eat? Because I feel like they're always adding food in like at least one or two scenes. It's so delicious. Like the fries, when Clyde ordered the fries and they didn't finish it, that was a problem for me because I love fries,
Yeah. He only took one bite of that cheeseburger, by the way. I mean, if you're gonna go and have dinner, have dinner.
Have dinner and then talk. Like I feel like fries and the animals are like very, like food and the animals are very important, in every episodes that they've come up with, and it's amazing to see how those two. I won't say object, how those two, I don't know what word to call it, plays a very big role on each scene, and I just love it. I just wish they just finished the food.
I mean, I know for me, there's that scene with Allegra and his lawyer, Jake's lawyer, in that little homemade bunker of his where she's eating the cheese balls. I had just gotten back from the store. I got myself chips. And I said, you know what? I should have gotten cheese balls because those sound really good right now. But that also leads me to actually an important point that she brings up in that scene, that Jake is broke. Jake has no money. That's why he's got to persuade these migrants crossing the border. He made a deal with them. I'll help you bring your families over if you just pretend to be my armed guards. He's got nothing but generic cheese balls, generic alcohol, and he's got all of his money invested in, I think, like land and oil and something else.
And animals, because remember, he said those animals are his. They didn't come from the zoo. They are all his. So I think he's using material things to portray that he is well-to-do, but really he doesn't have money. He's just broke.
Yeah, I mean, he's invested all of his money in some sort of physical asset or land in some way, shape, or form. And that's something that I think Allegra brings up, that's why he so badly wants to make that deal with the government, because they won't go after his assets if he does, and he can reclaim all that value that he's put out. So other than that, he's got no cash.
I feel bad for him. I mean, I think after this episode, I really have a little soft spot for him, even though I wasn't really feeling him at first. But after this episode, since he took the bullet for Allegra, I was like, okay, I might like you now,
He's a good man. He's a good man.
Oh God, okay, enough of yourself, okay?
But we do see also at the end, it looks like they reclaimed a lot of the physical objects in his home. He's sitting in an empty room at the end, very, very upset.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's already starting to lose everything. So I'm really curious to see what happens with this character going forward. And unfortunately, we don't have a special segment or any celebrity news and gossip for you all this week. We will be back next week. We're going to bring Keven back. He's going to tell you some crazy tales of corruption in real life.
Mystery.
But for now, we got to keep talking about this fictitious one. And I want to talk about what our predictions are going to be going into next week. So where are we going to see Jake? I know we really want to talk about Gene Coulter. He's working with Clyde Brattle. He wants to fix things. I really don't know where I see things going. They really have me confused.
They are obviously they are very good to get us to the point where we're confused, which makes us keep watching. So jump on that, producers, directors, and actors. Check mark on that. But I honestly don't know. Like I'm with you. I'm a little bit lost at this point because Jake has turned out to be someone that I didn't think that he was going to be, and he's actually a nice person. And then Clyde is a whole different kind of monster. So I honestly don't know. What I am interested to see, really, with my predictions, is really Raytek and how she, takes over. So that's gonna be something that'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. I got it. Here's what I think's gonna happen. I think Colder. I had some time to think about it. I think Colder. He's gonna obviously team up with Clyde Brattle if he wasn't already, which I think he was. They're gonna try to go after Jake hard, and Jake is vulnerable right now. But we know that Allegra has found out that that Chief Raytek was behind that slander article, that libel that said that Felicity was a crooked cop. So Allegra's gonna want to come after Chief Raytek, and I think she's gonna go to Jake Spivey for help with that. And Jake Spivey's going to be down on his luck, but I think she's going to pick him back up, put him on his feet. And not only is he going to help her because he loves her, but I think he's also going to help her because he's also mad at Chief Raytek because she was supposed to bring the cavalry. She didn't, and a man died. And that, I think, really affected Jake because he cares about those people. And he said this wasn't supposed to happen. Nobody was supposed to get hurt. And I believe him when he says that. So I think he's going to team up with Allegra to go after Raytek. And I think while that's happening, we're going to see Colder try to do something malicious with Clyde Brattle to get to Jake.
Brandon, question for you. Were you part of the writers? Because right now you sound like you're part of the writers. Okay.
No. I
was like, are you telling us like
in character? I'm in character right now. I think to myself, what would Jake Spivey do? And I think Jake Spivey, he would do the right thing for Pick,
Did you just pull out the accent also? Oh Pick. My God. I cannot
do anything for Pick.
I cannot.
I love it when he says that.
Stop. You need to stop. Guys, please forgive him because I don't know who he is today.
All right, I'll stop.
But I actually now that you say it, I actually agree with you, and because you and I are always like on the same team. I'm gonna support you. Who knows what Keven and Janice has to say about this? But I'm gonna be on your side. Now that you say it, I kind of get it, and I'm really looking forward to see if your predictions is gonna be true for next week. And guys, let us know what your predictions are also, because I'm lost at this point, but Brandon seems like he got this because he was probably in that writer's room. So please let us know what your predictions are, and let's see if Brandon is right or if you have something crazier than what he has.
Yeah, definitely let us know what your predictions are. But if you say anything mean about Jake, I'm going to be very upset with you.
Please ignore him, people. Just ignore Brandon.
Well, don't ignore me, but I think that just wraps up things for today's episode. I think we got just about everything in this episode covered. So, QueenEsther, Ekanem, if people want to tell you directly what their predictions are, where can they find you online?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at QueenEsther E, all one word, QueenEsther E. And please follow me because I love to talk about things like this.
Yes, for sure. And if you want to follow me, reach out to me, maybe help me write some Jake Spivey fan fiction, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BrandonHanna07. And we will see you all next week. And we're going to bring Keven back. He's going to come out of hiding. I know he's hiding from some of those corrupt politicians that he's put under the spotlight, but he will be out of hiding. And hopefully he's going to bring Janice with him. And I think the four of us are going to be reunited.
Yes. Oh, I missed you guys. I'm so excited to have everybody back next week. So we're looking forward to it. And this virus is not going to stop us. We are here to entertain you all and keep you guys excited. So definitely come back next week. Definitely. Cheers. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.